Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about the CPC, the Certified Professional Coder Apprentice with the American Academy of Professional Coders. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. Now I will say this first. I am not with AAPC. I do not even have a credential with them. I am credentialed with AHIMA. That's the American Health Information Management Association, if you didn't know. But because of my channel, because of being knowledgeable about the field, I get a lot of questions about AAPC from AAPC members. So I thought I would take some time today to sort of explain what the Cpc-A is, and I'm going to be reading directly from the website itself. So hopefully this will help you. Hopefully the breakdown will help you to better understand. I know it's a lot right now. I know there is so much information coming at you, and you're like, am I selecting the right credential to start with? Is this going to help me? So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. The CPC-A, the Certified Professional Coder Apprentice. What does this mean? Whenever you take the CPC, they're going to have that A attached. It's going to be a -A. Anytime you pass your test, you're going to start out that way. And the reason that you start out that way is because there is a 2-year commitment in coding, that you have to be actively coding for 2 years in order to get that A removed. Now, it's not impossible to get a job with the A, because I've known many people during the pandemic who got their CPC-A and they're working. I mean, they're actively working right now. So having an A is not anything to be ashamed of, okay? It is just part of it. I mean, everybody starts brand new somehow, some way. It is about being creative in your approach to getting a job as well. And I have plenty of videos on that. I will leave some of my recommended videos down in the description box below if you are curious. All right, but the CPC-A, now there's a 2-year commitment that you have to be working in order to get that A removed, and then you'll be an official CPC. Now, when another way to speed up the process, well, you know, if I'm working for a whole year, is there any way I can speed it up? Should I work more hours and things like that? It's not about that. They have a thing called Practicode. This is optional if you don't want to wait the full 2 years to get that A removed. Now, if you've had some experience prior to getting a credential, I think that can count towards getting that A removed quicker. But if you don't, pretty much this message is for you. So some people choose to just go ahead and wait out the 2 years. They get hired somewhere and they have their CPC-A, and then at the end of their 2 years that they've been coding, they'll go to their employer, they'll ask them for a letter on company letterhead, and it will tell them all the things that you've been doing, what kind of clinics have you been coding, how many hours, and what is the time frame that you've been coding for, and then then you're done. You get the A removed and you're a CPC. But if you want to speed up this process, they do have Practicode. Practicode is a product of AAPC. Now, it is a program that I'm going to go ahead and read what it is specifically. Gain confidence in coding real-world cases. Get the experience you need to work in the real world with Practicode. Practicode is a web-based training program allowing new medical coders to gain confidence of coding 660 cases in a variety of specialties. Complete the program while training for your certificate exam to remove one of the 2 required years of your credential's apprentice designation. Okay, so if you complete this Practicode, you can basically do it concurrently with a whole year of working, and then you'll be done, right? Or it says while you're doing your training, you can also start this then as well. Practicode will help you become a full credentialed coder, or full credential holder, faster than ever, separating you from the crowd of new coders. Practicode's web-based format allows you to gain experience at your own pace, in your own space, when you want. Gain experience faster than you would with an on-the-clock job. Code from hundreds of real medical records redacted from HIPAA compliance. Receive immediate feedback to learn specialty-specific intricacies only real-world real coding experts. I always want to say real world. So real coding experts know. Get the confidence you need to hit a home run in your next job interview. You can have that on your own with your own confidence skills, and it takes some skills building, okay? But this program is comprised of 3 modules, each containing 200 real redacted medical records. Students must successfully complete a 20-case assessment at the end of each module, passing with a proficiency of 70% or higher. So the CPCA includes all 3 exercises and assessments, $299. The CPC-A Practicum Module 1 is exercises and assessment is $100, and then Module 2 is $100, and then Module 3 is $100. So you're looking at $600 for this in addition to your test fees, in addition to your membership, and whatever else the program costs. This is a separate fee. Okay, so I want to make that clear. You do not have to do this. I have known plenty of CPCAs who did not choose to go through Practicode. They chose just to go through just working and then just sort of doing their time to get that off, to get that A off. The A doesn't mean that you can't get a job. Like I said, you can absolutely still get a job. It's not going to hinder you. There's just some people that want to have more practice. So it's education in order to do a lot of these things. Because sometimes when you are in these training programs, they're going to get you through at a rapid pace. If you are going through a program and it's timed, right? They have like the different modules and they have them all set up differently. It's going to be where, sometimes you're going to feel like you're rushing or you're going to feel rushed. And then all of a sudden you take your exam and yeah, you pass, but do you really know what you're doing? And so some people choose to go the Practicode route so they can feel a little bit more confident. You don't, like I said, you don't have to. And this is not an ad at all, okay, guys, just so you know, for AAPC. I'm just letting you know what these are because I get this question so much. Should I take Practicode? Should I not take Practicode? It is entirely up to you. But there are workbooks, coding workbooks out there, and I will leave a link to one of the ones that I like down in the description box below. And it's got the scenarios and it's got the answers on odd numbers. So this way you can go ahead and check your work as you're doing them. And maybe that might help you. I also have my Patreon channel and I do coding exercises that I make up for inpatient and outpatient coding. So, you're welcome to check that out. I have memberships, pledge levels that start at $1 per month, and you get access to all that. And I do medical terminology crossword puzzles, which is a lot of fun. But it's just basic things to kind of help you guys to know what's going on. And a lot of this stuff that I talk about both on YouTube and mostly on Patreon, because when I try to put it on YouTube, when I do like coding stuff on YouTube, it doesn't get the play time. I mean, for some reason, people just don't watch that. But if I'm talking about other subjects like advice and all of these things, you people are here. So, and that's fine because I want to touch as much people as I possibly can because of the simple fact that there's a lot of information out there about medical coding. And some of it's true, some of it's not true. A lot of it's not true. And then some of it is self-serving. So it just depends on where you're getting this information from. I personally have a no dog in this fight, okay, with anybody, right? I don't own a school. I don't, do any of those things. I have Patreon, but Patreon is the pledges start at $1. So I'm not trying to make money, guys. I'm trying to help you out because I really love medical coding, and that's always been my stance, okay? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I am not working. When I talk about coding, it's just, I don't know. I just light up. And I had my aha moment for my career back in 2014. And if you truly love what you do, you'll know that lightning bolt feeling, okay? But enough of that. I just want you guys to know that this is an option, this Practicode on AAPC, but you don't have to get it, okay? The thing that you want is to make sure if you are just trying to do your research, which credential do I get? Start with the CPC. If you are going with AAPC, start with the CPC because this is a very broad credential, but it is outpatient. It is outpatient coding. And if AAPC is the way you want to go, that is totally fine. You can either go with the American Health Information Management Association, or AHIMA, or AAPC, which is the American Academy of Professional Coders. So you have your choice, but as long as it's one of those two, all right? If it is not one of these two, then I would strongly suggest that you reconsider. Do your research, look at the job listings in your area, see what credential they are asking for the most. And another thing that I will talk about as well is some people will ask, do I need to get an associate's degree? No, you don't. If you want to just be a medical coder, go with one of the credentials and find out if it is actually what you want to do. Because sometimes I've known some people who have gotten the associate's degree for health information technology, the RHIT, and technician, sorry, the registered health information technician. I always want to say technology. Some people have gotten this and they've just decided, wow, this isn't what I really wanted to do. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. So I always recommend going the cheapest possible route. Start with a credential. This way you can get into the industry, find out if this is what you want, and then invest in continuing education with the degree programs, if that's the way you want to go. Because the degree programs are typically for people who want to be in managerial positions or positions of authority, you know. So that's what I have to say on that. There is a lot with AAPC. AAPC has a wonderful grassroots movement. And I say grassroots because they do allow for, like, if you're doing test prep and things like that, they have their different members who give their own classes and things, and they have them listed on their website for like the prep. And if you choose to go with one of those people to prep you for the CPC, they say that they can't guarantee the quality of the teaching, but, you know, here you go. So it's going to be word of mouth. It is going to be like what other people are saying, and do your research to make sure that what you're spending money on is worth what you're getting for it. Okay. It is very important because medical coding is a lot. And when somebody agrees to help you or to prep you for these exams, you have to make sure that, okay, are you going to break this down for me if I need help? Because if, as somebody who does tutoring, I like when I get the feedback from the people that I tutor, because I need to know how exactly can I help you. Everybody learns differently. And when you learn differently and you know how you learn, some are visual, some are auditory, some need to write things. I always recommend writing things down regardless, because it's going to stick, guys. But however you best learn, look for ways that will supplement your learning, right? And if you're a visual learner, look on YouTube. The wonderful thing about YouTube is that they have videos about everything, and this includes surgeries. Okay, so if you're getting stuck on surgeries and what does this word mean, and what do they mean when they're saying this, because when you're reading these records, these scenarios and situations, it's important to sort of have an idea of what is happening, because the more you understand it, the easier it's going to be for you to code it. Okay, so that is just something to know. But these things take time, and to get really confident, it is going to take a lot of energy from your part. You know, you have to be actively working with flashcards. You have to be actively, you know, using the workbooks, or you know, doing Practicode, or maybe being on my Patreon and checking out what I have there, because I do have quizzes and things. So it's entirely up to you. But would I recommend this? I mean, like I said, I've known people who have successfully just had the CPCA, and when they got their job, they just did their 2 years, and that was how they got it removed. You know, they didn't see the need to speed up the process. Once you have a job and you have your CPCA, there's really no need to sort of speed up the process, because you're already in. You know, unless the employer wants you to speed up the process, but then hopefully they will be paying for that, right? So if if that's the case, then by all means, go for Practicode. But if not, if you get your job or when you get your job, I would just go with stick with the CPCA until, the time is complete, and then you're good. But if you've had experience, you may be able to get a little bit of that time taken out as well. You'd have to contact AAPC just to verify and make sure. But I would think that would be acceptable. But that's just what I think from what I can see here. But yeah, that is my thoughts for today on the CPCA. And just some final thoughts about it. When you are starting out and you have the choice between being a CPB, which is a Certified Professional Biller, or being the CPC, I recommend going with the CPC because you do not have to be certified to be a medical biller. That is a misconception from some people that are not even in the field. They think, oh yeah, you have to be certified. No, you don't. When it comes to billing, when you look at the job listings, they're not asking for a credential. Most times, billing companies are asking for, you have just a high school diploma or a GED. Sometimes they're asking you to have experience, and sometimes they'll say, we'll train you. I've seen a lot of listings saying that they will train the people. And if you haven't had a chance to check out my playlist, Medical Coding Job Listings Explained, there's a lot of really good breakdown about jobs that are for entry level, jobs that are for people who have experience, jobs that are for people who have their degrees, and things like that. So I hope you'll check that out and, just take a listen and, peruse sites like Indeed. That's the one that I use. It's not an ad for Indeed, but that is what I use because it's very easy to navigate. And I tend to look, when I'm doing these job listings explained, I look in all different states. I look at Florida, Michigan, Texas, New York, California. I look all over. So that way I can get a variety and tell you guys, what is actually out there. The one thing that I don't do is I don't put the actual job listing in there, just because these job listings can be up one day and then they can be gone the next day. So there's no point. But I do break down the language of the job listings. So that's pretty much it. And I have started to do reviewing of resumes. So if you are interested in that, I do professional coaching, and you'd have to contact me for my rates. And that's pretty much it. That is my show for today. I hope this answered your question about the CPCA. It's a very good credential. Both the American Health Information Management Association and the American Academy of Professional Coders, you can't go wrong with their credentials, okay? These are both the big main powerhouse associations when it comes to medical coding, okay? And that says a lot. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I will see y'all for tomorrow's episode. It is going to be my advice to nurses, which I am very excited about. And I will see y'all on the next video. Hit that subscribe button. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.